Tell me a little bit about your business. What was the starting mission? What caused you back in 2019 to be like, all right, I'm going to do this? And
I was working for a company. I was doing like 60% in profit. They moved me to sales. That was the best thing they could do for me, but the worst thing they could do for them.
or did you hire right out of the gate because you had enough business coming in?
It was just me. I was in a pickup truck, and then maybe about 7, 8 months, I was able to get another truck. But I couldn't get anything in the business name because the business didn't have any credit or anything like that. So I had to fight through that thing and then build credit for the business and do that whole shebang. So yeah, it was just me.
How are you able to grow? What's your marketing? When people are always growing, they're like, well, they must be spending a ton of money in, Google pay-per-click, or, what does your growth strategy look like?
So it was really, man, it was all organic. Like, people just followed me. My Instagram blew up and they just followed me, and they trusted me. They seen the work. I guess they figure if he's recording the work, then he has to be doing something right. You know what I mean?
Welcome to another edition of the Superpro podcast. I'm Roland Ligtenberg. I'm the co-founder of Housecall Pro. Since 2013, we've been on a mission to champion the trades and champion our pros because the work you all do keep our homes safe, comfortable, communities running. Through Housecall Pro, I've had the privilege of supporting hundreds and thousands of pros just like you all, helping you guys achieve more, stress less, and redefining success in our industry. I'm super excited. I've got Germaine Nelson. He's the owner and founder of Capital Plumbing and Heating. It's a plumbing business based out of Bowie, Maryland. I got that right. Serving the DMV area, which is a region all the way around Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, if you don't know. That's the national capital region. Anyways, Germaine, he is on a freaking tear. He is on track for 2.1 million in revenue this year, which is 3x his revenue last year with 3 employees, 3 service fans. I have no idea how he's doing it. That's why I was like, Shayna, let's get this man on the podcast and let's have a little chat. Germaine, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your business. What was the starting mission? What caused you back in 2019 to be like, all right, I'm going to do this? And clearly this is like right before COVID hit, not right before, but like 6 months right before. So,
Yeah.
what was that like decision like? And talk to me about kind of that early days.
So the story is, I'll never forget this story. I was working for a company. I was doing like 60% in profit. They moved me to sales. That was the best thing they could do for me, but the worst thing they could do for them. Because then I started to see the numbers, right? I started to understand the background, how to provide estimates, how to do the profit and loss and different things like that. So I went to my boss at the time. I was the only one. I was the youngest one. And I was the only one that was profiting at 60% on 80% of the jobs. So I asked him for a raise, and he told me, he said, well, I can't justify giving you a raise, but I can get you a new truck. And I said, what? Now, mind you, it was within like 4 or 5 months, I had brought in about 600 plus thousand, give or take, right, for this company. And when he said, I can get you a new truck, I said, you know what, you can keep it. And after that, I put in my 2 weeks notice. That was it.
That's all it took. That's all it took. I think,
Yeah, that's
when you're able to kind of start to really understand what the numbers and wheels are behind the business, clearly it takes a lot more work even now probably than what you were even doing before. You're probably working way, way more, but now it's your business, right?
yeah,
Versus someone else's business.
correct.
It's a little different now. Once you took that step, what were you just you yourself in a truck? Maybe not a brand new truck, but a truck,
Right.
or did you hire right out of the gate because you had enough business coming in?
No, actually I didn't. I mean, I did have customers that followed me for years. You know what I mean? They followed me to the other company. However, it was just me. I was in a pickup truck, and then maybe about 7, 8 months, I was able to get another truck. But I couldn't get anything in the business name because the business didn't have any credit or anything like that. So I had to fight through that thing and then build credit for the business and do that whole shebang. So yeah, it was just me, and it took a while. Like, it took years. It was just me because it was
Yep.
so hard to hire people, and it was so hard for someone to see the vision that I had. You know what I mean? And I took my customers, so like I keep them close to me. At that, I still do, but at that point, it was a small group. You know what I mean? That provided us a lot of work, and I kept them close to me, so I didn't want anyone to mess that up. They always
Hmm.
wanted me to come, me to come, me to come. You know what I mean? But I'm like, at some point, it won't be me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So how did you
So
do that switch?
yeah,
Because clearly you needed to find people that had kind of the same vision for the company that you do, and to operate the way that you do. How did you find people that you could trust to start to hand over some of those key relationships? Because there's no way you're getting the $2.1 million by yourself.
yeah. I mean, it's not easy, man. I would say at some point, you just have to let go. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You just have to let go, provide training, and just hope that they're 50% of you. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And as long as they have the vision, I can teach you anything. You know what I mean? It's just be neat, be kind, smell good, and the rest we can go from there.
I like that. It sounds almost too simple, but the reality is, I hear people throwing that around. They're like, if someone could be like 80% of you, I mean, you threw it in. If someone could do 50% of you, like then you just got
50,
to let
yeah.
go. So you can start to grow. So you're not holding yourself back. But I think a lot of people think like, oh, maybe there's like a trick to letting go, of control. But there really isn't.
No,
It's not easy. Like you're saying. Um, what
no,
was,
it's not.
when
It's a
you're
lot
thinking
of
about
late
like,
nights.
yeah, a lot of like when you're thinking about growing the business, where are people hearing about capital? Like where are they hearing about you? Where are they finding you? How's the word getting out? Like how are you able to grow? What's your marketing? When people are always growing, they're like, well, they must be spending a ton of money in, Google pay per click, or what does your growth strategy look like?
So it was really, man, it was all organic. Like people just followed me. My Instagram blew up, and they just followed me, and they trusted me. They seen the work. I
Mhm.
guess they figure if he's recording the work, then he has to be doing something right. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
when it came to residential, but commercial was just word of mouth. You know what I mean? Like you would never outspend the big companies. You won't. Like I'm not
Mhm.
spending $1.5 million a year in advertising. I'm not doing
Mhm.
that. My
Mhm.
Google is organic. Everything is organic. There's no pay per click. I tried the Yelp thing, but that didn't work.
Mhm. Nope.
So you know, it's all organic, man, and people just follow me. I just put myself out there, and the real me, and that's what they see, and they just follow. And commercial side, it's just word of mouth.
Yeah, and when you're out there, clearly, um, what you're doing works from a trustworthy and a branding perspective. Where as you're recording, I think people inherently are like, well, he wouldn't be putting this stuff out there if it wasn't legit or if it wasn't good, because that would be pretty
Right,
wild. But for a
right.
lot of folks that are like, can't do social media. I don't know. Can't post all the time. I can't do this or that. But I mean, I think if you take a look at, Germaine's Insta and just social just in general, just show the work that you did. Tell people why you did it the way that you did. And that's it. You don't have
That's
to come
it.
up with like a plot or like a hook or a thing. Just describe what you did, and that's it. Just throw it out there. It
That's
seems
it.
pretty easy for you.
So the hardest part about social is editing. The work is
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Yeah,
It's just editing. You know what I mean? So, because
yeah,
you don't want to stare at one screen. It's different social cues that they say you're supposed to use, change every 3 seconds, the view and all of that type stuff. But
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows? You
And,
know what I mean?
and how did you teach yourself that? Is it just like that's like after work you're just messing around and just doing the edit, doing the reel, throwing some words over it, and is that just how you self taught?
Yeah, that was it. I self-taught, but then I also had, by me being in the field and being an ambassador for a couple of different companies,
Hmm.
we meet up sometimes in Cleveland, or we might meet up different places for Ambassador Fest and things like that, and we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, well, how did you? Well, what? How? Why? What? Is there a great time to post? Or is there? And we just figure it out from there. We collab and different cameras, man. I probably have about 4 or 5 different cameras. You know what I mean,
What's
including
your
my
favorite?
phone.
What's your favorite camera? I mean, or what's your most used one? Maybe your phone, but what other cameras do you have?
So, so my most used one outside of my phone is the DJI Pocket Mini.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
that's pretty cool, and it
It's bad.
stabilizes. It makes it look really like buttery as you're like zooming around for sure. Is that the one you'd
Absolutely,
recommend to
absolutely.
someone that's looking to get into social, or you just say just start phone only, and until you figure that out, then move on to like something a little more professional?
Yeah, start phone only because it's not cheap. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it can be it's real tricky. I still don't know all of the tricks that come with it. I'm still learning. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it follows you, it does this, it does that.
Hmm.
But the phone, you know the phone. You on your phone a lot. So I would say if someone wants to get in it, start with your phone. Build your social first, and then you can explore too. Because that camera is like $500. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
totally.
So
It's an
then you can
investment.
then you can explore. Yeah, you can explore after that. Once you get the following, get that first, and then you can explore in the different cameras because now they're already following you. So if your
Right.
video is crap or you mess up, they still there. They're gonna see
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
It's only up from there, for them. It's like,
It's
ooh, the
only up.
video
It's
quality went
only
up.
up.
Yeah, I think my
Exactly,
biggest advice for
exactly.
people that are just getting started in any home services space, people love time lapses. And so whether it's your phone, you can put your phone on time lapse mode. You can put, your DJI Pocket on a little tripod too. Just put on time lapse mode. People
Hmm.
love before and afters. There's just like a handful of
Hmm.
things. If you still don't know what to do, just go ask ChatGPT. Be like, look, give me four different format ideas that I could just run and just do while
Hmm.
I'm out in the field. And I think if you're just
Hmm.
doing it while you're on the field naturally, you can start to build up some content. And the great thing too is, you can put that content in different places. It doesn't have to be Instagram. You can put it on YouTube too, and it'll start to rank on
Hmm.
YouTube, and you can reformat them
Hmm.
in a bunch of different places. Um,
Yep, yep.
so you're going to be tripling the size of your business in a year. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing that? How are you planning for that growth? How are you planning to hire for that? Like, what does that all look like in your mind?
It's stressful to be honest, man. To think about it. So I was kind of blessed because we had a big company in the area that shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a lot of business. I took their, I think she was like just a dispatcher or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's now my operations manager. Like she's so dope. I took her and I took one of the employees as well. Well, I didn't take them. They weren't with
They
anyone.
came.
But they
Yeah.
came over with us. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I give them incentives if they bring over a customer from like a commercial customer from
Mm.
that company. So I give them a
Yep.
cash incentive
Yep.
right then and there. You know what I mean? And the customer has to book a call through us. Like it's only after their first call is when you get the incentive.
Got
So
it.
we've been pretty. We've got some good ones, man. Some good accounts. We got some good accounts, and we just got with a management company that does. I feel like every commercial shopping center in a 50-mile radius.
So if
So
you land that one, you're gonna have to hire some more techs.
well, we've already landed it. So that's why we're trying to hire. Yeah, we've
Oh
already
man.
landed it, and it's insane, man. Sometimes we'll have 4 calls a day just for that management group
Wow. And that's on top of everything else you're already doing.
on top of
Yeah.
everything else, and it's big things too. Like your big chains, any big chain you can think of, they manage it.
Mm. Wow. How did you land that? Was it just through that incentive and just relationship building, or did they already kind of know you and then this kind of just pushed you over the edge? Like, what's that story?
No, they didn't know me at all. I was just doing my research. It was one of them slow periods, and I was just online, man, doing my research. And you have to have certain things in place in order to get in these places. We had
Mhm.
everything in place as far as licensing and insurance and things like that. So I just went on there, applied, and talked to the people. Called. I'm like, listen, I'm not getting any calls. They like, well, your rate is too high. You know what I mean? Let's
Mm.
talk about this. Why you
Mhm.
why you charging us $190 an hour or why? But I get it because it's the volume that they give. You get what
Right.
I mean? Maybe you can knock
Yep.
it down to 120, or maybe you
Mhm.
can knock the service fee down to this and that. And we just talked through it and we got through it. And now we're like
Mhm.
one of their go-to. We get a lot of work from them to the point where I'm like, if they giving us all of this work, I'm sure they have some more, but I don't think it's much more that another company is getting because we're getting a lot of
A
it.
lot
You
of
know what I
them.
mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it was a
I feel
blessing,
like
man. It was a blessing.
there's definitely some golden nuggets. I mean, in what you just said there, which is, if you can trade volume and certainty for a little bit of price, you can kind of
Hmm.
layer on a couple of different things. You can still keep the residential mix, Charger 190, whatever it is. Then you can have your commercial, which is always going to be there and it's super certain and super volume. And so, like, as you're building your business,
Hmm.
you want to have a steady stream of stuff and jobs for the guys, and then go swing your shots in
Hmm.
residential where it might be a little lumpy, and it might have high season, it might have the low season, but you can still be very
Hmm.
profitable. I mean, you're selling 60% profit, which is like crazy. So I mean, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
within there, you can make your money, but you can build your business, on
You can
having
build your business.
steady work as well.
Yeah, I
What?
went and talked to some kids at a high school, and I just told them, I said, listen, residential keeps the lights on,
Mm-hmm.
commercial keeps the business flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that's
It's a
pretty
good.
much
It's a
it with
good.
that.
It's like hedging your bets. You can't have them all in one
Hmm.
basket, and you're doing well, just building that almost organically, like you said. You're just kind of hunting, and,
Yeah.
and you're in the right place in the right time, and you're asking for the business. You're not just kind of sitting on the
Hmm.
sidelines. It sounds like what
Right, right.
what.
Yeah.
I mean, you started using Housecall Pro pretty soon out of the gate. Why was that? Did you know something when you're like, oh, I gotta have something in place because you had something in place previously? Like, not everybody starts pretty soon after they start their business, with a field service management app. Usually people are like, I don't even know what to search for. They just look for like an invoice thing.
Yeah, no, I just know I knew what the customer wanted. I knew what I would want, and then I knew what I needed to make me
Hmm.
look like it just wasn't me. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I did my research and I started a house called Pro, like you said, right out the gate, like 2019.
Yeah. And were you looking, did you just find us on Google? Was it someone else that recommended? Were you just kind of like, you knew what you wanted, so you're just doing demos and that kind of stuff? Or what did that look like? And do
Yeah,
you remember?
yeah. I was doing demos. I did a couple of demos with other couple of
Hmm.
companies,
Hmm.
and House Call Pro is just it was certain the on my way got me. Like the on my way that got me. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
Because everything else was at that point. At that point, I felt like everything else was the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the invoices but only at that point. Like I've watched House Call Pro grow, and I feel sorry for the people that's just getting in it because it's a lot to learn. You know what I mean? We learned each other. House Call Pro,
Yeah.
we learned
Yeah.
each other. It's like, all right, you introducing this and you introducing this, and it's like, all right, cool, cool. You know what I mean? But I got a chance to work through the kinks. And now I tell other people, I'm like, listen, man, you need this. This is what you need.
Yeah.
This is what you need. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just I did a call with several companies, and House Call Pro was it. The On My Way got me. It was like this. All right, let's do this. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I
So
think I think too, when you're starting your business and you are literally a small business, in your case, just yourself, if
mhm.
you want to look more professional, sending on my way text with like your headshot and letting the customer know, like all those things are things that people would be accustomed to at a big shop. And so what that helps you
Mhm.
do is it helps you charge what you're worth, which is, you got that
Absolutely.
professional experience. When you show up, they're already like, this is a legit shop. It's not going to be the cheap
Hmm.
guy. So when you show up with a good high
Exactly.
quality estimate, they're like, okay, you're gonna get paid what you're worth, and what they see the whole presentation layer, and it makes you
Exactly.
look, makes you look like $1 million, and then they're like, okay, yeah, I'll pay that rate. Versus if you show up without it,
Exactly.
then they'll be like, well, why did I pay that? You're just a Craigslist dude. I'm
Right.
not gonna
You
pay
give me
that
a
rate.
paper invoice. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm not paying that
no.
for a paper invoice.
No, it's not going to work. What you've been using Housecall. I mean, like you said, you've seen it change so much over the last 6 years, and we've added so much stuff. I can't even remember the product back in 2019. But
Yeah.
what's something like either like a feature or something you tell someone that just is getting Housecall Pro? What should they dial in first, besides the on my way text and getting like that thing all working? But like, Like, what else should they really dial in and focus on if you were to advise them just getting started?
So just getting started, let me see. I would say, I mean, they have, uh, I drew a blank. They have financing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you're just starting, get into the financing. You know what I mean? You'll win a lot more tickets. You win a
Mm-hmm.
lot more tickets, and you can charge more because you add that fee in there as well.
Yep.
And even with the financing, I just learned that you can uh, give your customers the option of having 0% interest for like
Mm-hmm.
6 months or something like that. I
Mm-hmm.
just learned that. So the financing is a big thing. Payments, you can take them right there. Now, Housecall Pro has it where you can uh, deposit the checks, so you don't have to worry about the tech
Right.
keeping the check for the whole week until he comes to the shop. You can deposit the check right then and there in Housecall Pro, and you can
Yep.
see everything. You know what I mean? The back office sees everything, so that tech can deposit that check right then and there. As soon as you get in that truck, deposit the check, and we
That's
good.
all.
I get
That's awesome. Definitely from like a cash flow perspective too, because if you have checks floating around, then you lose a check, then you have to ask the customer to recut you a check. All that is such a pain in the butt. And then also people are like, well, I can just do it with my own mobile app. My Wells Fargo account. I can just deposit checks myself. But remember, like you can, but your technician
right,
can't. You're not going to give them access to your bank account. At least I hope not. At least I hope you're not doing that.
right.
Um,
But what I've learned is this. So yes, you can deposit it in your own account. However, at the point that you need or House Call Pro offers you financing
mhm,
for your business, that check doesn't count
mhm.
if you went and deposited on your own versus you deposited in House Call Pro. So let's say you have a check for $3,700 and you deposit it on your own and you don't deposit it in House Call Pro, it don't count towards the flow. You
That's
get what I'm
right.
saying? Because
Yep.
although they may have seen the ticket, they didn't see the money.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yep.
I learned that.
And look, when you're a young business, Jermaine, you got to build your business credit. You want to go buy a truck, you want to finance it. People are like, "Well, you're a new business. Like, I'm not going to
Hmm.
finance you." It's just like your own personal credit score. Your business got its
Yep.
own credit score.
Yep.
And yeah, inside of House Call Pro, there's business financing that we offer through other partners like Stripe and Pipe and some other ones because we can see the data. We can go, no, 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 no. You might not see a lot of transactions in their bank account or whatever, but we see all this other data. So you should finance this guy because they're legit
100%.
and we see this volume and we can guarantee
Yeah.
that we see this volume. And that's what
Yeah.
Jermaine's kind of referring to, which is like, yeah, they see it deposited, which is like, yeah, we can check all the boxes and we can show like, no, this is a legit business. You should finance these guys and make some money from them, right? They need money to
Yeah.
grow. They're going to take that money, deploy it, and they're going to grow back and they're going to pay back.
That's it. And you take
Yeah,
they take the money right then. They take the money, so it's not like, oh, you have to.
yeah.
The money is there. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. The money's there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're a big user of a lot of different features. I take a look at a bunch of different pros accounts, and many of them aren't using like all the things. Granted, we have a lot of things. Like you said, it's kind of hard to keep track, but you kind of grew along with
Yeah.
us. So as we added stuff, you just put things in there. But
Hmm.
payroll is another one, which is like super simple, just to kind of keep all inside of one place rather than having to use like a whole nother provider and deal with, that kind of that
Yeah. I love it.
outdated way. I know you've been using that one. When did you start using that, and how did that transition go to what were you using before?
Honestly, man, I was just using what was it? It's like Red Gusto or something like that.
Augusta, yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
something like that. But I don't even do my payroll no more. I let my office manager do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's I just started using that probably I want to say November maybe.
Okay, yeah, 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 uh-huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
November, but
yeah.
yeah, that's a great option. They pay the taxes for you, different things like that. Service plans, we doing the service plans now. We're offering with the water heaters. We give you kind of like a discount if you sign up for the service plan.
Walk me through the service plan. How do you set that up? I think a lot of people are like, I want to use service plans, but I have no idea how to do it or what I should even charge. So how do you set it up? How do sell it to me like I'm a homeowner? Like you just gave me a water heater. Why do I want the service
Yeah,
plan with
so
you?
it's simple, honestly. You just had a water heater that went out, and what they give you a 6 year, 5 year warranty. Your water heater
Hmm.
went out in six, right? It's like anything. Like I tell a homeowner, if you don't maintenance it, then it's gonna die. It's regardless. You can't drive your car 50,000 miles and not put oil in it.
Hmm.
So when you get this service plan, we give you a 5% discount on the bill that whatever you get, like the water heater, we give you a 5% discount, right? And then the service plan, it charges you annually. But then we come in annually, we flush it, we change valves, like we check annoy rods, we do the whole nine for a certain fee. And that fee really depends on you as a business. You know what I mean? Like everybody's fee isn't the same. But we might
Hmm.
charge you, let's say 397. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But we're there an hour. You know, we
Hmm.
flushing the heater, we getting the annoy rod, we checking everything. Whether it's
Hmm.
gas, electric, checking elements, ohming them out, different, different things. So yeah, and it'll last. If you take care of that heater, you might get 10 years out of it. You might get 12, 15, who knows? But
Yep.
if you're getting a check every month, that sediment isn't building up like it would if you just didn't have it checked at all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And when it comes to a tankless heater, that's self-explanatory, really. We descale it, check the filters, check the intake, the outtake,
Yep.
different things, clean the filters. Yeah, so yeah, that's check the what's it called? The heat exchanger,
Yep.
um, all of that. Yeah. So
I think
we
I
we
think that within itself, and then like you said, different types of businesses or residential may have different types of plans. You might charge them
hmm
something differently, and that's probably
hmm
based on the frequency and how often you got to come and how big that client is versus not. But I think
hmm
you're not just pricing the service on the actual service cost. You're also hoping to be there when they need the new one.
exactly,
Because you're
exactly.
just the guy who's going to go swap a new unit in. And so you lock in, some sort of cost over those years. And then boom, as you start setting up, it's like, you should start saving in a bank account, when you're 1 year old. So, it compounds.
hmm
If you save $100 a month, you're going to be a gazillionaire, by the time you're 65.
Right,
Same kind of a thing.
right.
Start your service plans
Yep,
freaking early. Start them early
that's
because
it.
if every single client you had was on a service plan, oh my lord, you'd have so much recurring revenue, so
Man,
much business coming in 5 years, whatever it is,
so
it'll
hundred
just
percent.
lock you in.
Yeah, and we have a deep customer base in Housecall Pro. So
Hmm.
if everyone was on the service plan,
Oh man.
that'd be perfect.
Man, yeah, well, you got the new office lady, that the office manager, just like you said, give them an incentive to call up people and be like, hey, just so you know, we're doing some discounted things on our service plans. The shoulder season. Would you like to be on it? I think I can extend the life of the water heater that you have there for an extra couple of years, as long as it's getting
hmm
service. But it has to be under a service plan. We'll guarantee it. Would you like to sign up? And then boom, you can just start generating revenue. So if it's slow season, people don't know what to do. Just have them sell service plans.
Service
Just get on the
plan, sell a
phone.
service plan. That's it.
Uh,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. We got so many good golden nuggets here. What's if you think about it, what would you tell baby Germaine coming out of high school? Coming out of school. What kind of advice would you give them? Potentially looking to get in the trades. What would you tell them, and what would you tell our audience?
So I would tell baby Jermaine, don't chase the money, learn the trade, keep your credit A1, and that's pretty much that's pretty much it. Honestly, don't worry about the money. Just learn the trade because so much comes with learning this trade. Whatever trade you're in, so much comes with it. Skies is the limit once you learn. Um, Try to figure out like a specialty. You get what I mean? Like a lot of people could do plumbing, but if you line me up against 10 other plumbers, I guarantee you I can out troubleshoot a water heater. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
So learn a specialty, own in on that. After you learn, the basis of plumbing and whether it be residential or commercial, learn that and then figure out your niche. What that is, whether it be waste and venting, whether you're an electrician, I don't know nothing about electricians, but
Yeah, yeah, sure.
whatever it may be, find your niche and run with that niche. The money's
Uh,
gonna come. Don't worry about the money.
that's great advice. Definitely don't worry about the money. And, when everybody else around you is kind of like a general plumber, if you could be known as the guy that's the best tankless water heater guy that knows everything about it, then that's who they go to, and you
Hmm.
become that guy, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. That's awesome advice. Jermaine, thank you so much for coming on the show. I wish you nothing but the best with your business. You guys are growing and skyrocketing. We'll have to do a follow up episode a year from
For
now
sure.
just
For
to
sure.
just to check in on you. But if you're listening on the Housecall Pro podcast, the Superpro podcast, and you're like, hey, I maybe can use Housecall Pro, you can always go to housecallpro.com/podcast deal. You can always text me too, 858-215-1512. That's my cell. You text me. I'll send you someone on the team that could do a demo for you. If you like what you heard today from Jermaine, you can always look him up, give him a call. If you need some advice, I'm sure if he's not busy, he'll answer your call. But Jermaine, thanks again for being on the show, and look forward to another Super Bowl podcast episode next week.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
See you, man. Take care, all. Bye bye.
Peace.
The Superpro podcast is brought to you by Housecall Pro, the leading platform for the home service industry. Housecall Pro streamlines your workflows and simplifies everything from scheduling and dispatching to communication and billing. Unlock the full potential of your home service business with Housecall Pro. Work smarter and more efficiently with streamlined workflows and detailed analytics. Win more business and serve your customers well, every single time. Join more than 40,000 home service pros who have already revolutionized their businesses. Work smarter with streamlined workflows, get organized with centralized information, and scale your business your way. Learn more at housecallpro.com.